Dan sejauh mana kamu mampu bertahan untuk terus berusaha? Bagaimana kamu memastikan apa yang benar-benar kamu inginkan?
I don't know about you, baby. Really feel the stage anyway. I can't think about it lately. Love doesn't taste what I can't wait. Give me some time to let it go.
Tempat di mana kamu bebas berkreasi. Tempat di mana interaksi begitu hangat dan jujur. Tempat yang membuatmu bersemangat dan serasa semua energi berputar di sekelilingmu. Saling memberikan semangat, saling memberikan kesempatan, tidak peduli asalmu dari mana, dan bahasa apa yang kamu gunakan. Waktu kita terbatas, lakukan sesuatu yang luar biasa. Teruslah lapar akan pengalaman. Teruslah ikuti passionmu. Ayo, terus maju wujudkan mimpimu. Masa depan sudah di sini. Hai Pak, saya sedang berlatih untuk besok.
Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's us to introduce ourselves. My name is Ati Rahma, and with my partner,
I am Amalia Rafiq.
and we are the misters of ceremony for today's event.
First of all, let us say our prayers for this wonderful opportunity that we all have today. So all of us, we can gather in this online room meeting to join our international conference, Multidisciplinary Studies 2022. Before we begin, we would like to greet all of the people who has been joined here. The Honorable Dr. Alimuddin Rizal MM, as a chairman of Yayasan Pendidikan Penerbit Mahasiswa Indonesia, along with all staff in each levels, management, founder, and supervisor of YPPMI.
Dr. Edi Winarno, Master of Engineering, Rector University Stikubang, Semarang, along with the Vice Rectors, the Deans, and Structural Directors of University Stikubang, Semarang.
And also, we would like to welcome to the keynote speakers of the Multidisciplinary International Conference, The first is Professor Dr. Nuryati Ahmad from University Technology Mara, Malaysia.
Second speaker, Prof. Dr. Markus Surkamta Erik Santosa, MBA, University Stikubang, Semarang.
Third speaker, Professor Ko Feng Huang from National Shensi University, Taiwan.
And moderator, Dr. Gregory N. Masjoyo, MCom, MSI, University Stikubang, Semarang.
And all of participants who attend this online conference on Zoom meeting, lectures at Unisbank University, Semarang.
All of the national conference participants who have attended.
All Unisbank students.
Unisbank TV viewers from wherever you are, the honorable lectures, fellow students, and all participants and presenters.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first international conference of multidisciplinary studies by Unisbank Universitas Tikubang Semarang 2022 with the theme Digital Ecosystem to Expand Collaboration and Connectivity in New Normal Environment. This event is held online via Zoom and live streaming on Unisbank TV channel. And also this is event supported by Bank Jateng, Bank BCA, BPR Gunung Kawi, PT BPR PKK Jateng Perseroda, and Bank Mandiri.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first opening, please rise for our Indonesian national anthem together and also March of University Stikubang.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is Committee Chairman Report, which will be delivered by Mr. Christophorus Hadiono, PhD. For Mr. Christophorus Hadiono, time is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, the Honorable Speaker, Professor Nuriati Ahmad from University Teknologi Maram, Malaysia, Professor Markus Sukamta Erik Santosa from Universitas Tengubang, Indonesia, and distinguished Professor Po Feng Huang from National Chengchi University, Taiwan. Good morning, the Honorable Dr. Alimuddin Rizal as Chairman of Yayasan Pendidikan dan Penerbit Mahasiswa Indonesia. Thank you to each and every one of you for being able to join in the online seminar today. It is such an honor for me to speak on behalf of the committee, and let me begin by giving you a warm welcome to the first International Conference of Multidisciplinary Studies 2022. First, I'd like to thank God Almighty for giving us His blessing so that we could hold this event. And because of His mercy, we are able to attend this online event in good health. Before we get started, I would like to express my appreciation towards Dr. Edi Winarno as Director of Universitas Tengubang, Dr. Endang Cahyaningsih as Vice Rector of Academic and Student Affairs, Dr. Liana as Vice Rector of Human Resources and Development Affairs, and Dr. Ellen Puspitasari as Vice Rector of Cooperation and Entrepreneurship Affairs for their support into this online event. I also like to convey my gratitude to our beloved committee member who's working tirelessly to make this event happen, and thank you to all the guests who set your valuable time for joining to this online event. On this occasion, I'll talk briefly about our online seminar. In today's seminar, we would learn about digital ecosystem. Before digital transformation becomes a necessity in today's world, every organization that runs its business have a business model that we can call as the traditional business model. This traditional business model is no longer fits in today's world, which relies mostly on the digital form. Because of that condition, the new business model has emerged and proven to be a fit in the 21st century. The new business model is called the digital ecosystem, which spans multiple industries and involves different sectors of the industry, partners, competitors, customers, and businesses. As a result, the old concept of controlled and centralized is no longer fit. It is changing into combining and connecting. This new concept becomes a disruption, and many businesses recognize the benefit of partnership and connectivity. They can build networks of connected products and partner with other businesses, sharing resources and expertise through their ecosystem. And I hope this seminar will help you to understand more about digital ecosystem. So I don't want to take too much of your time. I need to hand over it to Miss Ati Rahmawati and Miss Amalia, our today MC, to start and guide this event. I would like to say once more on behalf of the committee, welcome to all of you, and I hope this event can go well and smoothly. That's all for me. Thank you very much for listening. Miss Ati and Miss Amalia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Christophorus Hadiono, PhD. The honorable audience, the next event is the speech and official opening, which will be delivered by the Rector of the Universitas Tengubang, Semarang, the Honorable Dr. Edi Winarno, Master of Engineering, time is yours.
Thank you, Mrs. Ati. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. This wishes for all of us. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. The Honorable, the Chairman of Yayasan Pendidikan dan Penerbit Mahasiswa Indonesia, Mr. Dr. Alimuddin Rizal MM, the Honorable all members of the management and supervisors of YPPMI, the Honorable the Structural Officer of Universitas Tikubang Unsbang Semarang, and also we would like to say special thanks and welcome to distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Nuriyati Ahmad from University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia, and then distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Markus Surkamta Erik Santosa MBA from Universitas Tikubang Unsbang Semarang, Indonesia. Distinguished speaker, Prof. Kuo Feng Huang from National Chengchi University from Taiwan, and the moderator, Dr. Gregorius Nasiansinus Masjoyo MCom MSI from Universitas Tikubang Semarang, and the Honorable all of lecturers, researchers, students, or the presenters that will convey the ideas in this conference, and all of the participants who attend to this online international conference today. Hopefully, we are always given health and safety from our God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know, the first international conference of Multidisciplinary Studies, or ICMS 2022, that held today is a level up from the National Conference of Multidisciplinary Studies, or we usually say SNDU, which has been held for 7 years since 2014. They always held by Unisbang Semarang. And this year, the conference took the title Digital System to expand collaboration and connectivity in new normal environment. On behalf of Universitas Tikubang Semarang, Indonesia, I would like to welcome you to the first International Conference of Multidisciplinary Studies, or ICMS 2022. And in this time, I would like to say a special thank to all of the speakers that will talk about digital system to expand collaboration and connectivity in new normal environment. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I think this conference is very, very important and very, very interesting because it will talk about everything around digital system and digital transformation after pandemic COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, therefore, we hope that this conference will give benefit to many sides, to all of us, especially to all of the speakers. Once again, thank you very much for accepting our invitation as keynote speech in this moment. And then for the committee, for the chair, Mr. Christo, very, very thank you for the effort to arrange this conference. We hope that the academic environment in Universitas Tikubang Semarang, Indonesia would be more improved and better in every side. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish very nice experience for all our participants. Hopefully, all of you will enjoy the conference, enjoy the virtual meeting here, and we hope that all findings, all innovation in this conference would be realized and would give benefit for our society. And by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, the first International Conference of Multidisciplinary Studies, ICMS 2022, is officially open. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Edi. And well, ladies and gentlemen, before we enter into another schedule, we will do a photo session together. And all attendees are requested to turn on the video and on camera.
Ready? And we are going to counting down in count. Okay, please, Mr. Rector, Prof. Nur, Prof. Eric, and Mr. Greg Mas Joyo on cam. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, action. Okay, let's take one more photo. 3, 2, 1, action.
Okay, for last photo pose, please the audience can you all put your thumb up and give a best smile. Okay, everyone? Let me counting down. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. So before we following the event, there is one video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the series of events in the opening of the ICMS 2022 and call for paper. Next is seminar session. The seminar will be directed by the moderator. Please welcome Dr. Gregorius and Mas Joyo MCom MSI from University Tikubang, Semarang. And without any further ado, please, Mr. Greg, time is yours.
Thank you for the time, Master of Ceremony. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. I highly appreciate your presence in this amazing conference. We are about to start our discussion. My name is Gregory Masjoyo, and I'll be a moderator in this discussion. Before the presentation begins, let me inform you the flow of this conference will be: the first, speakers will be invited to deliver their presentations for around 25 minutes. After that, directly there will be a question and answer session, followed by a conclusion at the end of the webinar. Again, today's topic is about digital ecosystem to expand collaboration and connectivity in new normal environment. In several aspects, will this be an opportunity or a threat? Therefore, there is a need for in-depth discussion from various perspectives to see the impact and opportunities that exist in this digital ecosystem. And now, in this session, we will start it and listen to our honorable speakers' opinions. We are honored to have brilliant speakers in our conference. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for us to listen the speaker's presentation. Please welcome our first speaker from Malaysia, Professor Dr. Nuriati Ahmad.
All right. Thank you.
Professor, how are you?
Fine, thank you so much. I just recovered from COVID-19.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the conference.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let me read your curriculum vitae first, Professor.
Please proceed. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, our first speaker is a dean in the Faculty of Business and Management, University Teknologi Mara. Professor Nur areas of specialization are corporate finance, financial derivatives, international finance, behavioral finance educational. Professor Nurati has achieved a Doctor of Philosophy in Finance from University Science Malaysia, Penang in 2006. She has written 4 books related to finance, and there will be a new book coming soon with its title, Introduction to Financial Management. There are many publications of Prof. Nuriati. Her publications indexed are in Scopus, Google Scholar, Prisma, ResearchGate, and Academia. Professor, the screen is yours.
All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang.
Waalaikumsalam. Selamat siang juga, Profesor.
Good morning. Honorable, of course, thank you so much, our moderator, Mr. Gregory. Honorable Dr. Eddie Wirnanur, Rector of Universitas Situbang. Am I right? Did I pronounce it correctly?
Situbang, Professor.
Situbang. Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. All right. My nose being stuck.
Yes.
And Dr. Endang Jahjeningsih, Vice Rector of Academic and Student Affairs. Dr. Lia Diana, Vice Rector of Development and Human Resources. Dr. Ellen Puspa Tasari, Vice Rector of Entrepreneurship and Cooperation. Of course, Dr. Christopher Hadiano, Chairperson of this first International Conference of Multidisciplinary Studies as team speakers, participant, presenter. Right. First of all, let me take this opportunity to thank and congratulate Sikubang, all right, Universitas, all right, for giving me this opportunity to be your key speaker, and in fact the first one for this morning. And before I start, I would like to say that I am, as mentioned just now, I'm a professor of finance. I'm not so good in digitalization, but however, I would like to share the experiences that we went through, all right, in embracing digital transformation and culture by what we call UITM, of course, specifically Faculty of Business Management. Let me share some of my slides here, if you don't mind. All right.
Please, Doctor.
Can you see my slides here?
Yes, Professor.
Let me show you. Okay. All right. Now, so the title of my discussion today is how we go about embracing digital transformation and culture. Yeah, and of course, experience from the Faculty of Business and Management, UITM. If you look at this, digital education definitely is growing, and it is expected that the education industry will spend about USD $404 billion in 2025 relative to the USD 227 billion in 2022. And I believe majority of the university globally have a very large number of different application and system in use across the organization that students may need to access. Now, as many of the systems need to interact with each other, this of course present a significant challenge. As a result, many are seeing integrating their system properly as way to improve efficiency and gain economies of scales. Additionally, linking systems provide a better experience to the business and their customers. There are definitely radical changes in education space as the use of digital technologies in education increases as replacements of face-to-face meeting with digital interactions. Al-Hubashi stated that higher education institutions are focusing considerable attention to digitizing their services, including teaching services. And of course, the presence of COVID-19 pandemic, and now it is endemic, has resulted in the quarantine measures forcing educational organizations to look for immediate solutions to replace the face-to-face method. And this example of the conference that we have is how we have replaced the face-to-face conference, all right, to what we call here the online conference. Digital transformation refers to the use of digital tools to deliver value and drive changes in higher education. As you can see here, statistics by the study done by Loy 2021, during the COVID pandemic, you could see the rise in the usage of internet as well as computer rising. In the case of, for example, internet usage, it has gone from 84% up to almost 90%. And in the case of computer usage, from 70 to 80, and I believe by now this number has actually increased further. And the thing that we are worried in Malaysia is that, again, even though the number of internet usage has increased as well as computer usage has increased, you could see the penetration rate has actually differed from the city to the rural area or even the urban area. In the case of the city, the penetration rate is only about 63% during pandemic. And in the case of states like Kelantan, all right, you could see it's only 13%. So it is a very challenging phase when we start to have more, when we start to digitalize the environment or the education here. Now, the idea behind digital transformation, of course, is to leverage technology to propel improvement and change how things are done. For digital transformation to exist, of course, the most important part is the support that you need to have from the leaderships. These are leaders who believe that digital transformation is important in their university, and this will be the one to provide what we call here a successful culture shift. In digital transformation, there is no one size fit all for each university. Because why? Each university is unique. All right? And the uniqueness of each university require different digital transformation. Digital transformation, of course, begins with the process, and then it starts with a strategy focusing on what we call here problem-solving innovation in the service of university mission. Let me tell you more about UITM, and then specifically I will actually relate to Faculty of Business Management. UITM is actually a very large, comprehensive university in Malaysia. Its role is actually in nation building by unleashing potential, shaping the future. Specifically, when we talk about UITM, we remain focused on nurturing and educating students. And we do have 34 campuses and 21 faculty across Malaysia. To date, if you can see here, we have about almost 1 million, or we call it 900,000 alumni in science, technology, humanities, and entrepreneurship. And if we look at the history of UITM, you could see that we started off way back 57 years ago. It started off as a very small course, and what we call here as in that back then as Dewan Latihan Rida. Right, it's a very small center, training center, and then we were called Maktab Mara. All right, in 1965, and in 1967 we were renamed as what we call Institute Technology Mara. So that's why you could see the I there, because we wanted to maintain the I Institute there. And in 1996, what happened, we actually has an amendment, the 1976 Act, and that's where you could see ITM was given all the power according to a university and maintain its historical name up till 1999, when on 26 August 1999, ITM was renamed and being declared as a university by then the Tun Mahathir Mohamad. And this is the facts about UITM. You could see we have up till now, about 500 plus academic program, all right, 180,000 plus students ranging from pre-diploma, diploma, bachelor's, postgrad, and professional level. We have about 18,000 plus academic and administrative staff. And under myself, I have about 6,000 students, under the Faculty of Business, and I have about 300 academic and admin staff. And in terms of the faculties and interdisciplinary colleges, we have about 21 faculties, and throughout Malaysia, we have about 34 campuses. Why am I showing you this fact? This is because, having and to embrace digital transformation and culture with such a very big university as actually is a very challenging, but yet it can be done when you want to transform digitalization in the campus. So as I mentioned just now, yes, we are very committed in providing conducive environment based on rapid development technologies. We have various initiatives planned and implemented so that our core, which is teaching and learning, are implemented smoothly. And in moving towards our digitalization era, its transformation phases started actually in 2018. And that's where we started to upgrade our facility as well as our IC services, of which many initiatives have been carried out under our Vice Chancellor, who is now our Professor Dr. Technologist Rosia Jano. And are some of the initiatives taken, all right, by the university to ensure there is digital transformation and culture embedded here. And what are the initiatives taken? Of course, upgrading our internet coverage network from 2 to 10 gigabyte, upgrade our Wi-Fi coverage, convert 40 classes to smart classroom, provide software license in teaching and learning like MATLAB and Vivo SPS and so on. Provide remote access to computer lab for students, develop mobile apps, upgrade learning management system, and many more. And this is our former Vice Chancellor. All right, and he is Dato Azrai, and this is where you could see the seriousness of our university to enter into what we call partnership with it to digitalize our campus. And here, as you can see in our UITM Strategic Plan 2025, we actually aspire to provide global facilities with smart campus, and annually UITM spend between 50 to 60 million a year on digitalizing the campus. It is a lot of money, but I think, all right, for the future of the university, it is worth it. And in 2020, UITM introduces its digital accelerator collaboration with 5 companies, as you have just now seen, all right, and they are Cisco, TM Berhad, IX Telecom, Surin Berhad, as well as AS Cube Sendirian Berhad. And of course, the objective of this collaboration are mainly to accelerate its Education 5.0 initiative, since it aspires to set up a digital campus that features the largest technologies in the support of innovative teaching and learning, besides providing efficient administrative. So the signing of that ceremony actually triggers a lot of things, and that was done in 2020 because that was the time when COVID-19 struck us. And what could we see as the benefit of digital transformation? We could see that we become more competitive with the other university, be it local as well as abroad. We were able also to tune to the syllabus, the curriculums that meet the need of the industry, which are, of course, as everybody is aware, are now digitalized driven. And to a certain extent, it actually helps to increase the enrollment of our students because they could see that the program that we offered are more of digital base, and that create more fun for us to sustain. And the other part is that the outcome of digitalizing our university is that we increase employability due to the additional digital skills that we have actually incorporated in our programs. And in embracing digitalization, as you can see here, the challenges, as we could foresee, is that definitely everybody, be it the staff in terms of admin as well as the academic, there is a need for us to relearn, upskill, or rather upskill, or what we call here educating and training the staff to know more about how to use digital technologies. Of course, as mentioned earlier, we spend so much money in investing the infra as well as the infrastructure. And one very important part is the investment on cybersecurity investment, because right with digitalization, you could see more and more abuse of internet are there in terms of scammer and so on. So we need to protect data that belongs to the students, belong to the staff, and so on. And of course, I would not deny that is also a fear of unknown, because how much we have spent may work or may not work, but alhamdulillah, at the moment it is working for us. And remember, although we can learn the leadership and management model related to digital transformation from business sector, but we always have to think about that for business sector, it is different than what is in the education sector, because both of them have a different mission and visions. So therefore, we need to adapt according to the constrained collegial culture of the respective university. So, all right, it's nice to be digitalized, but digitalized should always be unique to that university. And apart from leadership, culture transformation also requires teamwork, courage, emotional intelligence, as well as other elements of change management. So culture transformation changes how leaders interact with each other, constant and consistently focus on institutional goal, increase in institutional agility, flexibility, so that we can adhere to rapid changes in environment. And of course, the successful and effectiveness of the project implemented will definitely enhance and accentuate the culture that embrace change. Now, why am I showing you in terms of UITM e-learning center? Now, in the case of UITM, we have two parts of the program. One is offered online, the other one is offered face to face, and that was before what we call here the COVID. But it is a blessing in disguise, because what happened is that now we are using UITM e-learning center to help us to also, all right, in helping the lecturers to who are actually familiar with face-to-face learning to use this center. And Alhamdulillah, of course, as you can see, with the development of UITM e-learning center, as well as all right, it is now being as what we call ICMS, you could see that we are helping the university to become more digitalized in terms of university. And in terms of Faculty of Business Management, all right, if you all have the opportunity to be part and parcel of or to come here, please come over. This is my faculty, the Faculty of Business and Management. All right, anytime if you want to come, just let me know. And as you can see, the beginning of Faculty of Business is also starting from the time when Rida started. All right, I'm not going to go through all this, but I just want to tell you that we also went back as far as 50 years ago, and we have developed a lot, going through all those. And for your information, I am the academic staff that started off teaching, whereby we use the blackboard, and then we use the traditional way, and then now I am being forced to digitalize my teaching. And it is okay, because the culture that UITM has given us, all right, makes it easier for us to actually adapt and adopt the transformation, digital transformation at the Faculty of Business and Management. And as you can see, all right, not only the UITM, even the business school has programs offered in all the 12 campuses. All right, we are big, definitely. And of course, we aspire to be globally renowned business school. And with digitalization, we realize that is very possible. All right, and you can see this is what we are focusing on, of course, teaching, all right, of which is related to our research, related to our book publication, as well as community work. And this is our strength. You could see we have many programs. All right, we have largest number of active students, we have diverse FBM talents, we have largest number of alumni, and we are the largest business faculty in Malaysia. And this is our statistics. You could see that, all right, we are. And you could see with digitalization, all right, it actually increased our outbound and inbound activities, and we have many students, especially during COVID, all right, whereby we have outbound and inbound mobility students online, all right, and as well as basically most of them participate in exchange program that we have, and still it is online, meaning to say that digitalization, all right, make it the border to become closer. As of now, I don't have to be there, but yet I am able to share my experiences with all of you, all right, in terms of what and how we have gone through of embracing digital transformation and culture. And as you can see, again, we had our first MCO, what we call here Movement Control Order, on 18 March 2020. It was chaotic at the beginning, but then, yeah, but then slowly but surely, we were able to adapt and adopt to online system. And I believe everybody went through that, all right? And it was, if you look back, during back in time, you could see, you could laugh at it and say how we actually adjust. But alhamdulillah, students as well as academic staff are now becoming better, in fact skillful in terms of how to conduct class online. Yeah. And and again, yeah, it was a blessing in disguise for us at the same time, because as you can see, yeah, we, as mentioned earlier, we do have that ISAP, which is our learning management system, and now they have upgraded to what we call here U Future. And you could see that that helps us, the lecturers, to conduct classes online efficiently and effectively. And we even use several digital platforms like Google Classroom, Meet, Zoom, and so on, yeah, for us, for delivery to be very smoothly done. And of course, online teaching and learning involve commitment and cooperation from various parties. Among them, IT knowledge and skill, and provisions of digital devices, quality internet access as well. Now we need to think about the appropriate alternative assessment method to gauge the students' achievement. In fact, if you look at it in short, the faculty member is confronted with what we call here teaching and learning in a new norm. So in addition, there is a need to acknowledge that our students from different economic backgrounds and are scattered. And this is also the challenging part, because you could see we are scattered all over, and some of the places geographically does not have access to internet. And that is a challenging, but we manage, we manage. In fact, we get our alumni, to sponsor some of those gadgets, some of the computer, and we even personally delivered to them so that they are able to have access to learning. What is important is they must have access to learning. So lack of access to hardware, software, internet coverage are issues that we actually had to address so that everybody is on board in terms of learning. So initiatives are taken to make sure that this group of students are equipped with that. And challenges that we face, as you can see here, which I think most of you are also familiar. We have enhanced online related knowledge among lecturers because we don't know much. But then how do you engage online lectures, all right, and ensure it is two-way communication? And definitely it requires your creativeness, your skills in making them see you, watch you, and be engaged and interact during our interview, during our delivery, all right. And the stumbling block also is in terms of spelling mistake, sorry, cooperation from parents when online teaching learning is being carried out, because we do face students whereby the parents does not do not understand that their students are, why they are cooped up in the room is that because they are actually attending classes, but yet they are being scolded because they thought that the students are not doing anything but sleeping and so on, which is a change. You need a mind change in that sense. And then of course internet accessibility, the appropriate ICT, because some students doesn't have computer or even tablets and so on. They had to use their mobile phone, and even their mobile phone is outdated in that sense. And then of course readily accept the new norm and culture in the learning system. Okay, but changes are there. And what are the changes that sorry, where is it? Okay. So what are the changes that we observe from here, ladies and gentlemen? We realize that, and we have been busy lately, is that we need to upgrade, change our curriculum review to make it more flexible, personalized, and instill a strong value. And we need to have partnership from the industry to see and the gaps in terms of where our curriculum review should actually be improved, as well instilling basically the robust technology in the curriculum. And now thinking about also the development of the future ready curriculum, All right, thinking about the new program that match the industry digital driven needs, like the big data, digital marketing, the fintechs, Bitcoin, and so on. And then looking at new alternative assessment, because whether we like it or not, students are very creative when they are online during assessment. And I believe everybody knows about that. Okay, and then we have to know how to accelerate IT literacy and readiness, because all right, if we do not do that, we will be left behind, both the academic staff, the admin staff, as well as students. We need to innovate the way of delivering, and and therefore in terms of our delivery, we need to make sure that digital learning such as gamification, smart education apps, and AI must be in the delivery part. And the other thing that we may need to think about is, all right, because lecturers, academic staff are quite complacent with working from home versus working from office, perhaps there is a need to look at the new human resource policies and guidelines. That is definitely because you could see sometime I had my students. I'm teaching working students, and they are working from home, and they realize sometimes that, and they said sometimes that that they are working 24 hours a day. All right, and there's no guideline, and they are paying for the internet and so on. So perhaps that should also be looked into. All right, and so all right, this is the blessing in disguise. As you can see here, what we experience, it accelerates the adoption of digital technology in our education. Fast reaction by lecturers and students to learn and relearn the use of ICT. We capitalize on the use of webinar to collaborate with international partners. And in fact, we have more MOUs, as well as matching grants and so on via webinars. We also have a lot of inbound, outbound staff mobility. A lot of our lecturers actually being guest lecture out there, with our international partner, as well likewise our international partner university being guest lectures to our university and my faculty. And we also have, as you can see, new activity like e-sport, e-community, and so on. Meaning to say, all right, it's go beyond your creativeness. So we are now in an endemic phase, but digital transformation is not going to slow down. Okay, again, leadership plays an important role in ensuring that digital transformation and culture will happen in UITM and specifically in the faculty. The success of embracing digital transformation and culture is an integrative effort of management, faculty, and student. So in other words, everybody needs to be on board, ready to welcome this transformation and culture. So meaning to say again, you need to integrate digital into your regular activity. Develop implemental transformation program. Always remember, teaching and learning will never be the same now. You will be having what we call here more of hybrid teaching and learning model, all right, whereby face-to-face will be replaced by online learning, or is a both of that. And before I end, okay, these are basically where we are, UITM digital campuses. We have apps, application portfolio. These are the platform. We are now using what we call eClock. So we have our HR2U, and in terms of teaching, we have what we call the U Futures. So these are some of the platform that we are using. For exam, we have e-results exam systems, where we actually just key in all the results, and they capture basically the learning outcome and so on. So it actually makes our life easier and more efficient. So this also, in terms of our library, they are engaging into what we call UITM digital library. So we have that. So before I end, I would like to say this. I like to take this from George Westerman, MIT Sloan. And what they say is that when digital transformation is done right, it's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. But when done wrong, all you have is really fast caterpillar. All right. So with that, Thank you so much for your attentions and good day. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, I'm done. Thank you. Excuse me. Oops.
Thank you, Professor. It was a remarkable presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, directly let us move on to the question and answer for Professor Nuriati. I encourage you to ask question and we will select the question to be answered by our honorable speakers. Please put your questions in the chat or raise your hand if you would like to ask questions related to the topic. Okay, let's find out. About in chat room. Hello, everybody.
All right. I think there's a question saying, do you use agile method? I think, can I answer that?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, please,
Yes,
Professor.
I think a digital transformation should not be static. Yeah, I mean when you want to transform your university or even faculty, right, it shouldn't be static because as you know, right, digitalization is ever changing. It's very dynamic. So definitely you must try to be very agile in your approach in adopting what we call here digital culture, digital transformations in the campus. Mhm. I hope I
Okay.
answer your question. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other question? Maybe Mr. Eddie as a there is one professor in chat.
Christopher.
Okay.
All right.
From Christophorus.
Yes.
How the UITM makes the students. Okay.
All right.
Please, Professor.
As mentioned earlier, all right, when you want to make sure that the lecturers as well as students embrace the digital transformation, the process must be in there first. All right, you can't ask them to start without having the process, and the process basically is looking at whether the facilities are there. Right, whether it's the infrastructure or the infrastructure must be there before the students can actually embrace the digital transformation that UITM is trying to champion. Okay, so if you don't have that process, and of course having the leaders to believe in this, all right, and we are actually in a way being indoctrinated, telling that we have ceremonies, we have opening ceremonies to say that okay, we are now into this digital. For example, the library, right, when they want to go into UITM digital library, okay, they inform us, we had a formal meeting, and then they even have competitions and so on. So that's how slowly but surely even the department of what we call here the academy affair play their part in terms of making sure that each lecturers are being trained, yeah, how to go about, yeah, teaching online. In fact, we were very fortunate because we do have some lecturers who are good in this digital or rather what do you call it, digital training, yeah, that they even actually give free of charge what we call it training on training TOT, all right, to our lecturers to help them to embrace the difficulty in the beginning of the MCO, how to go about teaching online effectively. So yes, yeah, I definitely believe that it is important. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Now, you say what are the strategies do you
Yes.
use to assess the students' work, especially if we apply different. Now we have now during MCO, what happened was that of course it is also through the Ministry of Education, we were actually asked to bit size the assessment. Yeah, and of course, certain investments we don't really go into. We have what we call here e-books and so on, and e-assessment. So yeah, the questions are all on the e-assessments, and it is being given by lecturers, yeah, and being put in what we call the Q bank, the question bank, and it's all being all right, and we do have the same platform, but everything is being done online, everything is being digitalized, so you don't have whereby student have the same questions, yeah, they do have their, but the most important thing is not the question. The most important thing is looking at basically whether the program learning outcome are being achieved for each of that courses. So that's how we go about it. Yeah. What else? Okay, more and more questions. That's wonderful.
Okay, Professor, there are more questions.
Yeah.
Would you like to? Okay, you can read in chat. Okay, please, Professor. Maybe you can
Yes.
choose it. Yeah. Okay. The first
Okay.
maybe from Miss Agnes.
All right.
Yeah, about the strategy. Oh,
No, we have what
it
does
has answered it. Okay. And the
what
next is from Mr. Sugang Purwanto.
okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Let me say. Okay. What a strategy do you use to assess the student work, especially if we apply different digital learning platform? There are many ways that you can do. All right. It is up to you. One of the way, as mentioned just now, we use ebooks, and in ebooks we do have e-assessment, and that is one way. All right. The other way is that if you are looking in terms of what do you call that? They call it I couldn't remember the word. They use, what was that? Never mind. It's okay. I forgot about that platform. All right. But again, yeah, when we talk about using different digital learning platforms, we have many platforms that being used. One of them even being very creative. They use TikToks, yeah, and the other things, yeah. So when does digital literacy start being taught to young generation in Malaysia, and how? To be honest, yeah, the Ministry of Education and even the government has spent so much now, because they know that yeah, digital literacy has started from the young age. Even some started in their what we call it preschool. Yeah, so we started that very young, and more so. But to be honest, yeah, our young kids are actually very fortunate. They are being exposed to that, yeah, digital literacy very young, through us, through our parents. Yeah, so they know all those gadgets. In fact, my kid knows better, yeah, in terms of all those things, and I sometimes had to refer to them in terms of how to use that. And I think Mr. Gregory is laughing, because I think that's is the same thing that we experience. Yeah. All right. So I think yes, we have no problem. But my worry, actually, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, is the older generations. They are the one who I think felt lost, yeah, because imagine, yeah, when we talk about banking system now, you can just go to the bank and you have but what about my mother? My mother had to depend on me, isn't it? Yeah, they don't know anything. Yeah, so I think our worry now is the digital literacy, not among the youth, because they are exposed, but digital literacy of the older generation who are actually left behind, if we do not educate them in terms of this digital. All right, let me read again. Okay.
The last one, maybe,
Okay.
Professor.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. There are still two from Mr. Suhana and Mrs. Endang, Professor. Okay.
To conduct, there will be many new habits to how to cope the problem empirically from culture perspective. True. Right. Not easy to transform people mindset, yeah, to accept digital. It's all depend on you. We have also academic staff who believe that the traditional way and refuse to, but we try our level best to make them feel that it is a necessity, because it's part of their job. All right, for the one who are going to retire, we're just waiting for them to retire in that sense. But yes, yeah, whether we like it or not, yeah, if you refuse, then you'll be left out. I always believe that, yeah. All right, change, yeah, needs to be there. All right. As mentioned earlier, I came from a generation whereby we started with blackboard, and now I am using computer, I'm using digital teaching, and so on. All right. I'm this year I am 60 years old. Yeah. I'm going to retire, but I'm still into this digital transformation. All right.
Still look
Because
young.
thank you. All right. I'm into this because if I don't do this, I will be losing out, and I will be out in terms of lagging behind my colleagues and so on. So again, yeah, you as a stakeholder, you as the lecturers, you as the students, you need to be in it. All right. Then, all right, together we work to create what we call here a digital culture. And last
Yeah,
but
the
not
last
least,
question, Professor,
things
for
that bother
you.
you in teaching.
Okay.
Okay. The one that really bothered me, because I'm teaching finance. Yeah. When you teach finance, yeah, it's nice to see yourself scribble, but I somehow or other overcome it by actually introducing them to my Excel file. And what I did was, yeah, actually walk through and in. So what I was able to do, I was able to achieve two. One, I was able to teach them the skill of using Excel, and the other one is what I was able to learn how to teach, yeah, finance, which is maths, and everybody are afraid of maths in that sense, yeah, and how you use Excel to teach finance in a very simplified manner. All right. So what things that you can do in online class? All right, to tell them, right, to on your camera, because how many times you remind them, please on your camera, we will have students who will refuse, and we don't know what is happening behind that. All right. So with that, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. All right. Please forgive me if there is any shortcoming from my side. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. It was interesting explanation for us and for answer the question. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to our amazing speaker, Professor Nurhayati Ahmad. Okay. Professor, before we move on to the next speaker, please receive our awards in the form of certificates. Virtually, Professor. That's for you, Professor. We hope you keep it.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome, Professor. Okay, so you have free time now.
Yeah.
If maybe you want to have a rest,
I will.
no
Yes.
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Professor.
Assalamualaikum. Salam siang.
Selamat siang, Professor. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the second speaker, let us welcome Professor Marcus Eric Santosa, MBA. Professor, how are you doing? Your mic, Professor, still mute. Would you like to unmute it? The host, would you like to? Okay, Professor, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. How are you doing, Professor?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I hope I will be fine as well.
Thank you, Professor. But I think maybe you are the next room with me, yeah?
Probably.
Okay.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes, Professor?
Your face is very white. But
Oh, thank you, Professor.
Very light.
You too, yeah?
No. I'm very dark,
Is that a problem, Professor?
What do you mean by problem?
No, because I'm changing from black to white, maybe.
I'd like to black to white, not white to black.
Okay, Professor. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before Professor Marcus present, let me read the curriculum vitae, Professor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our second speaker, sorry, I have to read. Okay. Our second speaker is a lecturer of Economics and Business Faculty at Universitas Di Kubang, Semarang. He pursued MBA course at Charles Sturt University, Australia. His doctoral degree comes from Gajah Mada University, Yogyakarta in 2004. And he got his professor on 2013. He conducts a lot of researches, most of them on Scopus journals and some on national journals. He also writes a lot of books published by Universitas Di Kubang. Professor, the microphone is yours.
Thank you. I'd like to say first, thank you for the Honorable the Chairman of the Foundation of the University, Dr. Alimuddin, sorry.
You forget.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my friend, my best friend.
Yes, your best friend.
Yes. And the second is the rector of the honorable rector of the university, Mr. Dr. Edi Winarno, ST.
Correct.
And particularly to the moderator,
Oh, thank you, Professor.
Gregorius, not Gregory, Gregorius Mas Joyo.
Thank
you.
It is Manggarai Hitam.
Yes, I am very proud of you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It is my turn to speak, and maybe I'd like to arrange my presentation. Wait a minute.
Yeah, please, you freely, Professor.
Okay, you see the presentation?
Not yet, Professor. Not yet,
Yes.
Professor. Okay, maybe committee, please help Professor Marcus to share screen.
You see my presentation?
Not yet, Professor. Okay. Committee, please help. Professor, excuse me. I
Yes.
share it from my laptop. Can you see it?
I see you, but I don't see my presentation.
Huh? I have share screen.
No,
Okay.
from me, because
Oh, not yet.
from you is different with me.
Okay. Okay, wait a moment. Okay. Please. Please check the PPT. Maybe not open yet. And after that, share screen.
Wait a minute, man.
Okay, no problem, Professor.
No problem. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Just wait a minute.
Because yes, okay. I see now the process.
Don't worry, there are many technicians here.
Okay.
There are
You
very
are-
expert.
Yes.
This,
Professor, you have share your screen now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, please,
Yes.
Professor.
Ladies and gentlemen, before further speaking my presentation, I'd like to say that first of all, I apologize for you, although I often write articles in Scopus Journal, but for years I don't speak English, so probably my some words are pronounced incorrectly. I'm sorry.
No problem, Professor. We will understand it.
Ladies and gentlemen, lecturers, students, and people who attend this seminar. My topic is digital marketing, the effect for small, medium enterprises during pandemic in Indonesia. Why I take this title? Because it looks very interesting for me. And it is interesting for the entire world, you know. then our president is honored everywhere because of the success of handling the pandemic in Indonesia. So I'd like to tell you the end of this presentation, and I'd like, first of all, firstly, I'd like to explain about digital marketing itself, and then about the effect for SMEs during pandemic in Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, as the first speaker, Professor Noryati Ahmad, told you that in the world, pandemic is everywhere. We have been suffering from pandemic, and countries' economies are damaged. You know, we are talking about as well. We are talking about particularly about Indonesia. So in 2020, in the world, some big retailers are bankrupt. For instance, GC Penny, Neiman Marcus, Guitar Center, Taylor Brands, Asena Retail, GNC, G Group, Group Brothers, Stain Mart, and Pier 1 Import. Actually, not like other country, Indonesia doesn't operate lockdown system, because not only about the viruses itself, but economy is also should be taken into account. So Indonesia employees, what we call large scale social restriction, or PSBB, not totally lockdown, and it allows people in Indonesia are able to interact each other. They are still able to go out, but particular purpose, not just for going somewhere, no, but for interact for particular purposes. The effect of the business, particularly small medium enterprises in Indonesia, the slogan that stay at home leads people, not many people go to stores, although the slogan lead, although the people may go out, but it is better off if they stay at home. It is a problem for sales, because selling and buying activities are likely not bustling. It is very hard to wait for buyers to come to the stores. So the effect of this situation leads a lot of big retailers in Indonesia, such as Giant, Matahari, Ace Hardware, and Centro, closed down. As I mentioned before, that customers are not able or reluctant to come to stores because it will be better off they stay at home. They do not want to be gotten disease of the pandemic 19. But the sellers on the business itself, actually it is not suggested to just stay at stores waiting for buyers. It might be dangerous for them, because no income, no sellers, it means no sales, I mean. will be no income at all. So what should they do? The merchandise are not displayed only in the store. They should be carried out, seeking customers at home or anywhere. If so, a question will arise. What will we do? Or what is the way out to solve the problem? The answer actually is that they have to sell online because they can't carry products or any business they have to any sellers anywhere, even at home or at office or something like that. So the answer is online marketing. Online marketing, they know as online marketing, but actually it is adapted from the recent situation we call digital marketing. So what is the digital marketing? Achieving marketing objective through applying digital technologies and media. Actually, if we are talking about online marketing, it will be similar maybe. And we can describe that marketing today is the management execution of marketing using digital media, such as the web, email, digital, TV, social media, and mobile media, in conjunction with digital data customers' behavior, location, and personal qualities. Is that what we know as the recent description or recent definition of the marketing? Or the recent marketing is probably is different with what we call is traditional marketing. Before answering that, I'd like to take you to the shift of marketing. We know that we have five levels of the marketing shift. First is 1.0, product-driven marketing. Second is 2.0, customer-centric marketing. Third is 3.0, human-centric marketing. And the fourth is moving from traditional to digital marketing. And recently we have technology for humanity. Though recently the entire of the world has got 5.0 technology for humanity, but particularly in Indonesia, not all people are aware of the 5.0. Probably it is in my opinion that only part of them are aware of the technology for humanity culture. In Indonesia, still in level 4.0, moving from traditional to digital marketing. Even it is my opinion that SME, small medium enterprises in Indonesia, still on 3.0, human-centric marketing. That's why I'd like to talk, and that is the interesting thing of my presentation. During pandemic, business is stagnant, difficult to get buyers, but they have to be better off by adapting or by implementing what we call internet marketing. When I say that marketing, is it different? The recent marketing today and what we have been teaching in our class. It's a different. You know that American Marketing Association gave definition of marketing yesterday. That is, marketing is the activity set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offering that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. You might find this definition in Kotler and Keller book, and it is our guidance to teach everybody, every student here in University of Kubang. We have 10 main types of entities, such as goods, services, events, experiences, persons, places, properties, organization, information, and ideas. But the world changed. Moreover, we have suffered from pandemic. We have maybe we have not a lot of buyers coming to our stores, but we involve in selling through online. So that is very busy.
Sorry,
What's the problem?
committee, please. Something noisy. Enter the
Yeah,
Zoom. Yes. Okay, now? Okay, maybe go on, Professor.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
it is better.
Yes, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can define recent marketing in accordance with the UK's Chartered Institute of Marketing. That marketing is the management of process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements profitably. So maybe it is slightly different with the yesterday definition. We have 3 points, three main points of the definition: identifying, anticipating, and satisfying. What means with identifying? How can the internet be used for marketing research to find out customers' needs and wants? So to identify our customers, we have to use internet. Anticipating refers to, we have seen that anticipating demand for the digital services on the online revenue contribution is key to governing the resource application to digital business. And how about the satisfying? We have a lot of ideas here. Is the site easy to use? Does it perform adequately? What is the standard of associated customer service? How are physical products dispatched? This problem surely cannot be answered by the old or yesterday definition of marketing. Is it different, or is it a substitution of the old marketing? Actually, not. Because if we see here, you might see on the screen that we have digital marketing and traditional marketing. Horizontally, we have five pieces, you know. And digital marketing hold the fourth and the fifth, act and advocate. From the depth point of view, we have three levels. First of all is enjoyment, experience, and engagement. Digital marketing here, from the depth point of view, particularly involved on level 3, that is engagement. While level 2, experience, and level 1, enjoyment, has been undertaken by traditional marketing. So, actually, digital marketing is continuous, not substitute.
Sorry, Professor, something disrupt you. Let the committee check it first, Professor.
Yes, I pray for them.
Okay.
Soon will be better off.
Yes. Okay, maybe you can go on, Professor.
As I told you before as well, that some people say that internet marketing as well as digital marketing. Actually, digital marketing has a lot of related name. The first is what we call e-marketing or internet marketing. E-marketing or internet marketing is defined as the management and execution of marketing using digital media, such as the web, email, digital TV, social media, and mobile media in conjunction with digital data, customer behavior, location, and personal qualities. Yeah, we have known this definition before. And e-marketing itself actually is broader or has broader scope than internet marketing, because internet marketing refers to digital media such as web, email, wireless media. Also includes management of digital customer data, electronic customer relationship management system or ECRM system. So how about e-marketing itself? I mean, how about internet marketing itself? That we know that e-marketing is broader than internet marketing. So maybe that internet marketing, maybe it doesn't include management of digital customer data or electronic customer relationship management system. However, it is very frequent that people say e-marketing and internet marketing are similar. Yes, it is just about terminology. And the second is e-commerce. Refers to electronically mediated transaction between an organization and any third party if it deals with. By this definition, non-financial transactions such as support and request for further information would also be considered to be part of e-commerce. So that e-commerce actually is a part of e-business. Focusing on business transaction through web or internet particularly, yeah, it is e-commerce. Yeah. Buying processes, selling processes, transfer, product and service interchange, and information through computers and internet. The difference between them is that the purpose of e-commerce is money-oriented, while e-business emphasizes long-term aims such as customer trust, satisfying customer service, work regulation, business partnership, and other social affairs. You know that from this description, e-business what they involve in a lot of affairs, but that the e-commerce only for transaction. We have the third that the related name, e-business or digital business. It's the transformation of key business processes through the use of internet technologies. E-business, as I mentioned before, is broader than scope in its scope than e-commerce. It covers electronic buying, supply chain management, electronic order processing, customer service management, and business partnership. Also, allows electronic data interchange through web, internet, intranet, and extranet, or a combination of them. We have web marketing as well as the related name of internet marketing. What is the web marketing? Refers to a broad category of advertising that takes many different forms, but generally involves any marketing activity conducted online. So generally involves any marketing activity conducted online. Many online advertising spaces are free to use. Companies can upload videos to YouTube or start a blog for no cost at all. Other outlets like official websites or paid search marketing cost a fraction of what a major television advertising campaign would. The web also presents exciting new opportunity for companies to profile their customers. The interactive space of the internet simplifies a company's ability to track, store, and analyze data about a customer's demographics, personal preference, and online behavior. This data allows the advertiser to provide more personalized and relevant and experience for the customer. Next is viral marketing. It concerns to an online strategy through email. The company sends email to all internet users through Yahoo, Hotmail, or Google. It utilizes online character which likely is fond of dispersing something interesting, new, rare, or unique to others who do not know. It is frequently supposed as word-of-mouth marketing or e-worm. The last is virtual marketing. It is almost similar as well with marketing online, that is achieving marketing objectives through applying digital technologies. And it particularly aims to promote products, increasing brand awareness, and enhancing customers' loyalty. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are talking about internet or about any effort doing something through internet, actually we have to emphasize six things with relating with the media channels. First is search marketing, digital public relation, digital partnership, interactive advertising, opt-in email marketing, and social media marketing. Let me talk one by one. Search marketing refers to placing messages on a search engine to encourage click-through to a website when the user types a specific keyword phrase. I think it is not rare for us. Often they use internet, especially for our lecturers on those who are involved in IT. Search marketing has two key search marketing techniques. First is SEO, search engine optimization. It is a structured approach used to improve the position of a company or its product in search engine natural or organic results listings for selected key phrases. And the second key is paid placement or sponsored links using PPC, pay per click. The marketer pays for each time the hypertext link in the ad is clicked on.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yes.
Your time remain only 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to shorten it?
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for warning. Okay. The second is digital public relation. I don't talk much about this. Digital partnership and interactive advertising. I pass this part because maybe I'd like to tell you in detail that also refers to what I pass it in the end of this presentation. Everybody who utilizes digital marketing, first of all, they have it is obligation for them that they have to have website. And the second tool concerning with digital marketing is SEO, search engine optimization. It is not rare for you. I'd like to talk further. Now, if we are talking about the effect of SMEs, what is the benefits for them if they apply implementing digital marketing? We have 6. First of all, SMEs or other business society can place their business on marketplaces. Second, they are able to get affiliate marketing. Third, dropship. Fourth, publisher. Fifth, social media marketing. And the sixth is opt-in email marketing. Online marketplaces, you know, you are familiar with some marketplaces such as Gojek, Shopee, Lazada, Bukalapak, etc. And small business or small medium enterprises can upload their business in this online marketplace. The second is affiliate marketing. It is very interesting if we are talking about affiliate marketing and dropship. Affiliate marketing is a kind of cooperation between an agent and principal in which the agent participates in selling product by disseminating particular link given by the principal in social media. If a consumer clicks the link and buys the product, the agent will get a fee. Affiliate marketing is very useful, very beneficial because no product, no inventory, no storehouse, no capital, no technician, no delivery. If I call it in Indonesian, but maybe I can say it is a look like maklar. Yes, like maklar. You can join to a lot of company such as it is Shopee or Amazon, and you have to obey the regulation. How about the dropship? A kind of cooperation between an agent and a principal which the agent participates in selling products by simultaneously running his or her own business. If a customer buy particular product, the dropshipper contacts the principal to deliver the product using the dropshipper's name. In turn, the dropshipper gets a fee. So I recommend this affiliate marketing and dropship not only for SMEs, but also for everybody who hear my explanation. If for the lecturer in Unisbank, you might choose, you might allow the affiliate marketing and dropship. You will be called as dropshipper. It is very easy and it is very beneficial for us. I don't like, sorry about the limitation of the time. I can explain further or enlarge. Maybe I should continue. Publisher is very popular. Is someone whose job is creating and developing attractive contents of videos. When the publisher's channels are followed by many subscribers and the contents of videos have already been seen by viewers for certain hours, then they are liable to be endorsed by ads. A PPC allows the publisher to get money. So maybe publisher also refer to YouTuber. Yes. So beside affiliate marketer, dropshipper, you might be publisher, man. It makes money for us. So not only for SMEs, not only for social business society, but for everybody. Students can go to publisher. And it is very easy. The easiest way is the affiliate marketing. The fourth is, how about social media marketing? Social media marketing allows us to use digital ads on social media. So we can use, we can choose Facebook or Instagram, and we can upload our ads. But it is not easy because if we have to fulfill to meet such requirement.
Professor, excuse me.
Yes.
It is an interesting perspective.
Yes.
Maybe you can continue the explanation by answer the questions.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see in chat. There are 2 questions for Professor Eric. Maybe can see that to finish your presentation. Professor, can you, or I have to read the question for you?
I still difficult to see
In chat.
chatting. Maybe
Okay.
first you can read it for me.
Okay. Okay, Professor. Let me read the question from Mr. Askar Yunianto. What is the constraint to development digital marketing in Indonesia, especially in small business and industry? How is the solution of that?
Okay.
That's the question, Professor.
Yes,
The
okay.
time is yours.
I'd like to answer as good as I can. So, as I mentioned before, that though some of us get on 5.0 level, but not all. Some of us just only on level 4.0, even on 3.0. 4.0 means that we have to transformation from traditional marketing to digital marketing, and maybe 3.0 not people implement the digital marketing at all. So the effect of pandemic allows business society to adapt, to employ the digital marketing one by one step, from simpler to maybe to very complicated. And that is the steps of the Coordinator Minister of Economy, that on the period of May 14 to June 9, 220, 3,115 SMEs have operated digital marketing. It looks like that is an enhancement of digital marketing use of about 15 to 20%. And it allows the increases performance of some business sectors, such as e-grocery, which jumps up to 400%, and cosmetics up to 80%. So answering the Mr. Askar, maybe I can just explain that one by one step by one step, we suggest to small business to adapt digital marketing, not in the way of complex, not in the complex way, but a simple way, such as it is very frequent and it is very easy to find if you want to ask that just small business, maybe just they are selling food or something like that. They place the business in marketplaces such as Gojek or Shopee. Yeah, it is very I think, yes. So it is step by step. The situation impels them to it is no choice to adapt this recent situation. And officially, maybe government have a plan to educate people to apply to employ the digital marketing. And as I said before, that it refers the marketing, the enhancement of digital marketing about 15 to 20%.
Okay, I think Mr. Askar have gotten the answer, Professor. Let's move to the second question from Mr. Basia. Is there a difference between the concepts of online marketing, digital marketing, and smart marketing? Thanks, Professor.
Thank you. As I explained before, that actually digital marketing has a lot of related name. So we have like smart marketing and so on. Actually refers to the use of internet or digital media. So although they have a slightly different name, but actually the purpose of them using the internet marketing are similar. It is my answer, Mr. Basia.
Okay, Professor. Let's move on from Mr. Christophorus Hadiono. There is a gap between our generation and generation that born in the recent time. What must we do to be able to mingle in the digital era?
Yes. What Professor Noryati explained you before is very interesting. So maybe we can adapt, we can imitate the way the university or the UITM
Yes, UITM.
Use the digitalization culture. It is not easy, but we have to. But it is not in a whole steps, just step one by one. So if you say when we can adapt or we can get digitalization culture, if we are talking about the whole population of Indonesia, it is hard to achieve. But if we just talk about some particular business society, maybe right now they are getting on 5.0, but not all. So on average, people in Indonesia probably is just still in 4.0. So if Mr. My
Mr.
answer,
Christophorus, yes.
Mr. Christophorus, my answer is how it is not. It is not just us. It is not just a small people in Indonesia, but it should be taken into account by government. So government maybe begin to imply to enforce the digitalization to everybody, to every university, though it is began by some university like what we call in Yogyakarta, Faculty of Economics and Business is no longer mentioned. We just talk about digitalizing faculty. This from UII, Islam University in Indonesia, in Yogyakarta. Begitu, Mr. Christophorus.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I hope that's the answer for Mr. Christophorus. And Professor Eric, there's still 2 questions for you. And after that, you can give closing statement of your presentation. And let me read from Mrs. Endang Yuliani. What do you think about SME in some villages and remote areas that difficult to access internet?
Yes, I agree with your opinion. It is hard to educate them, to make them open and digitalized culture. So as I mentioned before, that is the program. It should be the program of the government, but it is not easy, and it is not in the what we call as an instant program. But we should develop it regularly one by one. And of course, such as in Indonesia, if we are talking about the income, national income of Indonesia, if we divide it into average, just we are still in low, maybe less than $5,000 per capita. But a particular people or particular business here in Indonesia maybe more this income more than Singapore people, more than Japanese people, because we have a lot of people dispatched or scattered in areas that it's difficult to get them. So their income maybe still is still low, and it is, if it is average, the income in Indonesia could be less than $5,000 US dollars per capita. So although if we are talking about the big cities like Jakarta or Surabaya, maybe the business is open with 5.0. It is very familiar. They are using internet, but not all people actually in what we call distant place. It is they are restricted by facilities, and it is not easy to solve them. So it should be proposed and should be taken into account by the government, and should be growing not in instant, but slowly but surely. Yeah, I say slowly, as Professor Noryati Ahmad said on her explanation before. Begitu, Pak.
Okay, Professor. Thank you. And the last one, are there any limitations of digital marketing? If there, what are the limitations of digital marketing? That's the last question, Professor. And after that, you can give your closing statement.
Yes.
The time is yours.
Okay. Digital marketing is actually is good, yeah. It is very interesting for everybody, and it is very beneficial for everybody. We have no choice. If we are talking about business society, we should get digital marketing. But because of the restriction of everybody, particularly about the income, so it is hard to apply digital marketing to all business society, particularly SMEs. Therefore, sorry, I forget the question. What is the last question?
The last question, are there any limitations of digital marketing, Professor?
Yes. When I talk about the limitation of the digital marketing, it is a large restriction, particularly about the income, Indonesian states revenue, maybe. So moreover, this pandemic is maybe doesn't allow the program to be implemented. Yeah, there is the limitation actually from the state, that the state has restriction about how to enhance the economy, the state economy. However, Indonesia is admitted that we are better than other countries.
So it means there are internal limitations and external limitations in perspective of ICMS.
Yeah, it is particularly about the internal limitation. About the about the external limitation is, of course, that the world has been suffering from a pandemic.
Okay.
They are not be remedied today.
Okay.
So it is very it depends as well from the contribution of other countries as well.
Okay, Professor, we have got the answer of the question. So please give a closing statement of your presentation.
Okay, my statement is actually it is the conclusion of my presentation that as you see in screen. Sorry, you see the screen, Mr. Gregory?
Yes.
Hello?
Okay, yes.
You see my presentation?
Oh, still out, Professor. Okay, so maybe I can read it, Professor.
Okay.
Okay.
My statement about my presentation is
yes
that how though the implementation of digital marketing is hard, is difficult, but the proliferation of employing digital marketing likely gives a high contribution to push the economy and clients. Even we can say that it is supposed as savior, particularly for SMEs. It might change common people that formerly they were not cultured with internet. Today they are fond of. Even internet looks like their business every day. And the most important thing, and it is the last, that Indonesia steps forward might be free of digital illiterate. That's all, Mr. Gregory.
Thank you, Professor. It is an interesting perspective. Please give a round of applause for Professor Eric. Professor, before we move on to the last speaker, this professor received awards, the form of the certificate. Professor, that is for you. Okay. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we listening to the last speaker, the control I give back to the master of ceremony. There will be a video, maybe. Okay, IT team, please. May you show it. Okay, everyone, are you still with me? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Your response. Okay. Finally, we will listen to Prof. Kuo Feng Huang. Professor, are you
Hello.
with us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
How is your day, Professor?
Okay. It's good. Good day. Yeah. Good
Okay,
day. Yeah.
thank you, Professor. I'm happy to welcome you to the conference.
Thank you very much for your
Okay.
invitation. Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our third speaker's current position is Distinguished Professor at the Department of Business Administration at National Cheng Chi University, Taiwan, since 2020. His teaching field and research expertise are competitive strategy, startup strategy, strategic alliance, dynamic capability, and cluster. Professor Dr. Huang has published more than 20 papers in his CI listed journals. He published a book in 2021 with the title Dare to Fail, 30 Tips Toward Success. He was editor board of Harvard Business Review, Chinese edition, in 2009 until 2015. Professor Huang was a speaker at many international conferences as well, and not to mention his extensive experiences. If you would like to meet him, Professor Huang is teaching in National Cheng Chi University, Taiwan, under the Department of Business Administration. Professor, the time is yours.
Okay. Thank you. So let me share my presentation first.
Okay. Please, Professor.
Okay. Can you see?
Yes, Professor.
Okay.
Okay, real time, Professor.
Okay. Thank you very much, the moderators. First of all, I would like to thank the committee of this conference to invite me to as a guest speaker for the conference, the members. And I think I was involved because there's a lot of increasing number of Indonesia students to study a PhD program in Taiwan. So that's why I have a connection with this community. So I hope after this conference, there's a more and more students interested in studying in Taiwan as well. Okay, so today's my presentation the topic will relate to about the challenges for startups in the digital ecosystems. As a moderator just mentioned, because the current recent research about my research is about the startup strategies. Although I have been to the business administration for many years. So today's my presentations will talking about myself, because I was quite new to the audience, so maybe I will introduce myself a little bit, and then I will go into the today's topics about the challenge for startups in the digital ecosystems. There will two interesting topics I will mention about. The first one is the fundraising in the digital areas. As we know, the crowdfunding is increasing important in the startup industries. And the second one I will mention about some platform economic, which is has some bubbles in recent years. And the final section, I will share a little bit about the strategy for startups, just like the moderators just mentioned. I published a book last year. So this is today's agenda. I hope I can control the time. Okay. So very quickly introduce myself. As the moderator mentions, I was distinguished professor in the Department of Business Administration, National Cheng Chi University in Taiwan. And I also involved some service for the schools or the colleges. And my research topic is about the competitive strategy, staff strategy, and I have published several papers in the SSCI list journals, such as the International Business Review, Journal of Business Research, such as that. And actually, I graduated in Taiwan, National Taiwan University, and my master's degree is from the LSE, and my PhD degree from the University of London, Royal Holloway. I was trained for the case study training in the Harvard Business School in 2006, and I also was the visiting professor in Imperial College London in 2012 and 2013. Recently, I just become the Secretary General of our university in 2017 and 2018. And I helped to the school to fundraising about more than 50 million US dollar donation for the new library, just like shown on the picture. Now it's the best library in Taiwan. And also, I just completed my duration about I was the director of the EMBA program in 2019 and 2021, and I helped the school to build up some collaborative program between the National Nanyang University, Singapore, and the University of Economic Ho Chi Minh cities. And also, I am currently the chair of the Commerce and the Business Division of the Minister of Education for the teaching practice research programs. And this is a kind of a research program to help the lecturers or the faculties to develop their teaching skills. So I was the chairs. I have been the chair since 2019. So I actually not only for the academic research, but also for the administration service. I was involved in the school level, college level, or the ministry level. So this is my short introduction for myself. And I will start to talk about today's topic about the challenge for staff in the digital ecosystem. As we just listened very two distinguished speakers talking about marketing or the teaching in the digital area. So I was talking about the startups a little bit about this topic. And I think everyone probably heard about the crowdfunding, and also I think this is increasingly important in the economic world, not only in the US, but also in China, now in the rest of the world. So I have involved some research or have some observations. So I will share a little bit about the topic about the crowdfunding. As we know, to the startups, because the most for the startup, the lack of resource, and so they have the need to raise funds from their family or friends or fools. I mean, so that's we call 3 F's fundraising strategy. So you always raise your funds from family, friends, and fool. Which we call fool is because they didn't really know your startup projects or business plan. And but this is a traditional fundraising. But in this digital ecosystems, crowdfunding becomes an important tool for some startups, entrepreneurs. They can raise their funds. So here I compared traditional fundraising and crowdfunding fundraising, the difference between these two. For example, for the investment scale, for the crowdfunding fundraising, the amount is normally small, but for the traditional fundraising, the VC venture capital, if they would like to invest your company or your project, the scale is relatively big. And for the ownership, I think the traditional fundraising, they will ask the shares of your stocks or company, but for the crowdfunding, I think only in a Kickstarter or in the United States market, they have provided this kind of service. The most of the countries or other regions, the crowdfunding is not really allowed to invest the shares through the crowdfunding. So the ownership, which is not applicable for the crowdfunding in the most of the world. And also we're talking about a reputation effect. Traditionally, we will invest a startup, which is why we would like to invest this new business, because some venture capital, for example, BlackRock's the famous venture capital in the US, because they invest your company, so the people will like to invest in your company. But for the crowdfunding, sometimes you don't need to find a very famous VC to invest in, but you can show how you can build your reputation through the social medias. Then the people will interested to your project, and they will put the money in your projects. So the reputation effect is different. And for the buyers, actually for the traditional fundraising, they don't have a buyer because they just raise fund from the venture capital, from the investors. But for the crowdfunding, normally they offer some concept which they will produce some products in the futures, and the people will donate, or we also say they will pre-orders or put their pre-orders on your products. So there's some product buyers actually happens in the crowdfunding fundraising. So you might gain in some potential buyers through the crowdfunding fundraising. This is different from the traditional fundraising. And also suppliers. For the traditional fundraising, you might find some strategic suppliers to join your company. But for the crowdfunding fundraising, normally you will demonstrate your business, and some people, if they just happen to your supplier, they also believe what you believe. They will support you. So the suppliers for the crowdfunding is more relative like individuals. And market test, which the last one is, we know most of staff now, even not staff, some company use the crowdfunding platform as a market test. They test the test water. They want to make sure their product or their concept will accepted by the majority of the customers. But the traditional fundraising, they don't have this kind of functions. So you will see in the current digital ecosystems, the more and more startup will use the crowdfunding platform to help them to identify the buyers or to find some suppliers, and also the test market. So you couldn't see the crowdfunding fundraising just the pure fundraising. They have a multi-function to accomplish for the startup. Okay, so let me show a little bit about the crowdfunding statistic. This is I think this is open source. You can find some data from the internet. For example, this is the Kickstarter's research in 2018. It shows the most successful project you are going to on the crowdfunding platform in Kickstarters. The 42% were raised in the first and last 3 days, which means that when you open a project in the crowdfunding platform, the first and the last 3 days the most important. If you can meet some target of your fundraising, you will meet the target. And also, they show the average crowdfunding pledge is $99, which I just mentioned. Normally the crowdfunding, the investor scale is relatively small. And there's some interesting example. You can see the figures. For example, you can see if you have a video on your projects on the platform, that will increase your success of fundraising. And I think I didn't go to the very detail about this figure because it's open source. You can see from this interesting figures in the Kickstarter's research. I will show you a little bit about the Taiwan situation because I have to do some research also in Taiwan. As you can see, Taiwan is the first growth of using the crowdfunding is between the 2013 and 2015, and then they just not the growth very fast until the recent 2 years. Also increased number of the crowdfunding raising in Taiwan. And as you can see, the figures, the numbers and also the amount is increasing for the past 10 years. And you can guess what's the interesting the products in Taiwan. They are most popular in the crowdfunding in Taiwan, and you can guess it. But let me show you the three largest cases. The first one is the air purifiers. It's interesting because some innovators, they want to show their idea and to put this idea on the platform. And the second one is the bags, or some people clothes bags, something like this kind of goods products. And the third one is AI home appliances. So you can see in Taiwan, this is the most free interested or popular products in the crowdfunding. Compared to the Kickstarter, I just skip it very quickly. In US, the game of the design, the product is the most popular in the US. So you can see the different countries have a different preference for their in their crowdfunding platform. And to understand why will cause the success of the crowdfunding platforms, so we have to do a research, or we also publish in the ATU Management Review in Taiwan's journal, and we looking for whether the bystander effect about the crowdfunding platform. As we just mentioned, for the startups, because they don't have enough resource, so to send a good signal to the investor or potential investor is very important. Otherwise, people will say, if I money put on your project or put on your company, you will get failed. Then we couldn't get something back. So it's very important to send a good signal to the potential investor, particularly in the crowdfunding platform. So as you can see, because the information asymmetries, uncertainty for the startups, and the competition for funds, startup with this limited resource, so they need to send the signals. Otherwise, it's very difficult to get fund successfully from the potential investors. But we also know from the social psychology, there's called the bystander effect, which means there's more people looking into your projects. Do they really invest or back your project? So from the social psychology, they say even some people falling down on the streets. You can see a lot of people just see the wrong, but nobody want to help these people because they worry about something. So that's why this research we are interested in. Is it the similar effect happen to the crowdfunding platform? Because we know some crowdfunding platform, you can say you can put your likes on the projects, but put your likes on the project, it doesn't mean they will back up you. They will invest in you. So we want to see whether it's more likes. Does it will help you to fundraising, or the more likes, just like the bystander effect, they don't really help for your fundraising. So this is the research framework. So we have some hypotheses to assume that the bystander ratio is higher, just like the bystander effect from the social society. They might be not to get a good pledge amount, which means a negative effect on your fundraisings. But you can enhance your project legitimacies, or you can enhance your project duration to moderate this negative effect. So this is the basic research. And I just skip very quickly because we use the data in Taiwan, and this is a biggest crowdfunding platform in Taiwan called 5V. Because they have the number, as I just mentioned, they have a number of total supporters, which means they support you, but they hasn't put the money in your project yet. So we calculate this to test our hypothesis, and we find that basically is support our assumptions that if they don't have a moderating effect, basically the higher bystander effect will lead to the fewer money invested in your projects. But if you have a legitimacy in your projects, or you have put your project more longer in the platform, then they will reduce this negative effect, which means will help you to improve your fundraising. Okay, so this research, the empirical research summary is first of all, you need to reduce the number of bystander, which means if the supporter or the like on your project is very high, you don't happy you don't happy at this moment, because you have to worry about it, because they might have a bystander effect. But if you enhance your legitimacy, for example, I just mentioned before, because some entrepreneur or some the project proposer, they will doing some marketing in the social media, exposure themselves to the potential buyers or investor, then you help your legitimacy increase. Then they will reduce this negative bystander effect on your pledge amount. And also, if you put your project on the platform longer, which you will earn some trust from the investor, because you put on the longer, then the people can see more information on your project. Then they will trust you and they will invest you more. So this is some phenomena from the observation or from the academic research about the fundraising. And secondly, I will mention about the bubbles in the platform economy, including the fundraising. Now we use the digital tools to fundraising or marketing as well. So there's called the platform economies. And the recent years, particularly in the COVID-19, during these 2 or 3 years, that we have seen some bubbles already happened in China, right? In China particularly. Let me mention some about the platform strategy, because as we know, such like Ubers, they just bridge both the customer and the taxi drivers. So something like Airbnb is similar. They bridge as a platform bridge to the visitors and the host. So this kind of platform is popular not only in the US, but also I think in the rest of the world. So everyone try to imitate their success. And this is also happened in the Taiwanese startups. They always say, oh, you can see the how Uber success or how Airbnb success. So why not we can use the similar logic to start up our business in Taiwan? Okay, so we saw a lot of similar idea happened in Taiwan. For example, this is another example in Taiwan. We call the Jacker cleaning, which means they try to bridge the cleaners and the hoster in the home of the house. So what's the issue for the startup? Because they are looking for the fundraising, as we mentioned. Because the limited resource, the nature of the startups, they are looking for fundraising. So how can they attract the investor to invest their business? They don't actually don't make profit in most of the startups. They don't make profits in the beginning of the company. So they only can show the potential investor. The only thing they can show is they have a lot of number of users, or they create the revenues, or even the company did not make profit. So a lot of startups during the platform economy, they focus on the rapid expansion. For example, they only concern the number of visitors or whether the revenue was increased very quickly or not. But I think this is something happened, particularly for the past 2 years during the COVID-19, because the expansion, if the expansion without the profit, then might be lead to the devastation. For example, this is a chain stores, a very famous restaurant in Taiwan, and they expanded the chain store very quickly, about 10 stores within 2 years. But after the COVID-19, just like I think very similar in Indonesia, the people doesn't go out to eat, so the restaurant they don't have the customer, and then the bankruptcy very soon. This is the first example I just tried to mention. And as I mentioned, because for the startup, because they don't make money, so the investor very difficult to evaluate the value of the company. They couldn't use the same model as the normal business, for example, PE ratio to measure the potential of the startups. So normally they measure by for example, we call the price string ratio in Taiwan, which means if you have a lot of customers or visitors or a lot of revenues, we don't really look into your profit at this moment. But if you have the customer base, then we will invest you. So this is why the people try to invest some kind like we call the shared bicycle. As we know in China, they already caused a lot of problem issue. As you can see, the bicycle was dropped on the streets and they caused the social problems. But how can this business model can attract an investor, a particular some famous the VC to invest? Because, for example, like Mobike in China, they say they try to sell their company to the VC that because we have a deposit policy, and if each individual have a 20 renminbi for the deposits, we have a 200 million members in our platform. So then we have a 60 million, 6 billion renminbi in our deposit, which we have this cash. So you don't worry about it. You just invest our company. You just invest it. Don't worry about it. We have a lot of cash in our pocket. This is normally this kind of a company to raise fund to the VC. But actually, even the Mobike, the largest one, the Mobike shared bicycle company in China, they haven't made a profit yet. So can we invest in a company which they hasn't make a profit? And another example is the shared umbrella. It's a similar logic, but it's also happened in China. And this is very interesting. This company, because they claim the first day the opening, the 500 umbrella, they called shared umbrella. No one returned the umbrella to the company. And the company just mentioned that, okay, that's fine. We can regard this as a marketing expense because the umbrella, they have printed our company brand. So they didn't make a profit yet. And the more cases, for example, Luckin Coffee is also a very famous chain store in China. They opened the first one in 2018, and the 2019, only less than 2 years, they already have a 4,000 store in China. This is the amount which Starbucks in China took 20 years to do this. How can the Luckin Coffee do this? Because they sell a lot of discount coupons to their customers, and they have a lot of cash back in their account. And then they use the cash to reopen new stores. So they use this kind of operation about the finance to expand very quickly, rapidly. But if something happened, as we know, the vouchers, discount voucher is some kind of debt. It's not your assets. It's the debt for the finance statement. So if something happened, it's very it becomes a dramatic result. Another example is this company also was already IPO in New York stock market. We call the DNK. This business model is also very, very interesting because this DNK paid the landlord higher rents to the market average. So they try to rent this the home or house and then relent it to the young people. But actually they pay the higher the price to the landlord, but they rent the flat to the graduate, also the young people, the lower price. And we can now, it's very, very weird because if the cost is higher than the average market price, but your price rent to the students is the lower, then each room is the loss. But actually, they asked the students to pay 12 months rental in advance, so they have a cash inflows for the other 11 months. They use these 11 months cash flows to go to the market to pay the more landlords to join their platform, which means they have joined a lot of market share. But actually, this business model is loss. It's not a profit. And as a result, in 2020, as we know, COVID-19 again, similarly, situation happened because the students was forced to stay at home because of the COVID-19. So there's no new customer for the DNK to get the cash into their accounts, and they couldn't get the new cash. They couldn't pay the rent, the landlord, the rents. So at the end, the landlord just asked the renter go out, and that caused a lot of social problems as well. Some people suicides, and then this business model again is not profitable, the business model, but because they use this kind of logic to expand your visitor or your revenues or even your users. So the VC will invest in your company. So you have a lot of resource to expand your business, and then they say they will think about maybe they will make profit a little bit. So most of the startups, because the platform economy, the nature of the platform economics, they emphasize the first move and increase their business very quickly. This is another example in Taiwan. Shopee, when they entered Taiwan markets several years ago, the PC Home in Taiwan is the biggest e-commerce platform in Taiwan. But Shopee just joined the Taiwanese market. They use the subsidies for the free delivery. Then they can capture users. So which means that even PC Home, you have a first mover advantage in Taiwan. It doesn't mean that you will sustain your competitive advantage in Taiwan. So Shopee can enter it with the more resources, more subsidies for the free delivery to the users. But guess what? Now the biggest one is not these two, is the Momo, another e-commerce in Taiwan. So I just try to explain, although the platform economy help the startup, particularly for small and medium-sized startups, they can join the economy very quickly. But if their concept is not incorrect, probably you will lose your business very soon. So you can see that this kind of things happen. So I just try to say platform economy is only focused in expansion, and you always only think first move more quickly, but without the profit, bubble burst in the end. You can see I just raised another example happen in China or in Taiwan. I don't know whether Indonesia, probably maybe the audience can share with me a little bit later. So, but actually, if you want to use the platform economy, there's some guideline or some key success factor we have to understand, because the success for the factors for the platform strategy, they have 4 important factors we have to understand. The first one is the send-side network effect, we call self-attraction. And the second one is the two-sided network effect, we call the mutual attraction. The third one we call the switching cost. We also mentioned like the stickiness on the platform. And the last one is the specificity, which means we call it this internal image. We use the Ubers to explain how these four factors affect we call the success platform strategy. As we can see, the passengers, because the passenger, we call the first one, do they have the same side network effect, which means the passenger, whether they will attract themselves. In the Uber's business model, for the passenger or for the driver, they are competition. For example, we normally passenger will compete for a taxi. So they don't sell attraction to invite your friends, say, oh, there's a taxi, you can join with us. So they don't have the positive, the network, the same side effect. As the same, the driver, they don't have the same side network effect, none or negative. But we have the positive, the same side network effect, like the social media, Facebook, or the the lines, or the WhatsApp or WeChat, because there's a social media. They have the social the nature of network effect positive. So this kind of platform, that kind of platform, they have a positive. But the Ubers actually they don't have the same side network effect, but they have a mutual two-side network effect, which means the passenger, the number larger. If they have a larger passenger number, they will attract the drivers to join this platform, join the Ubers. Also, on the other hand, if there's a number of drivers in the Ubers, they will attract the passenger to use this platform. So when we understand this, so you can see the previous example, they only focus expansion the users and also get a first mover in this business, because they think they will get the advantage for the two-sided network effect. Because both two sides, if they have an increasing number or the huge number, they think they will success in the platform strategy, but they forget about the same side network effect. Also, the third one, switching costs. For the passenger, you can see not only they can use the Ubers. For the Indonesia, they can use the Grab, and also we know in the later part, the Grab already merged the Uber in the Indonesia or in the Southeast Asia area, and in China they also the Uber was merged by the Didi and other the platform service. So you can see the passenger can use the different platform, so the switching cost is very low, and also the driver is the similar situation. They can use the different platform. That's very interesting. In Taiwan, we have a Uber Eats and Foodpanda for the deliver foods. We can even see some deliver drivers. They also join the two service at the same time. So sometimes they can service for the Uber Eats. Sometimes they can service the other we call Foodpanda in Taiwan as well. So the drivers can switch very quickly from different platform, which means you could. The platform, as the view of a platform, you cannot stick these two types of passenger as driver. So most of the platform, you have to think about the switching cost. How to increase your switching cost instead of if they have a low switching cost, they will switch to different platform. And the final one is the specificity, which means the people will for example, the driver will contact the passenger, or passenger will contact driver to do the service, to jump out from the platform. So the jet cleaner is another example, said that they have the one side direction of the specificity, because if the host find a good cleaners, they will jump to the platform to ask the cleaner to clean their house through the platform. So this is for the startup. So we normally see that most startup only focus the two sides in the network effect, which means they only focus expansion and the first move. But actually, you need to consider the other three factors for the platform. Now, otherwise, in the end, if some competitor they have more resource, they will compete your platform. Then your user will go to the other platform. Okay, I think I have another few minutes talking about the last part about the strategy of startup. Actually, I published this book last years, and I developed for the startup. They have a three stage for the startup. The first stage is the survival stage, and the second one success stage, and the final one is a sustain stage. And the three factors all influence this three stage, which is the business models and the founders and the team and the organizations. And from the survival stage, for this book, I'm talking about the mode for the survival stage. We call for the business model, we call lean startup or the minimum viable products to test the market for the survival. Then for the succeed, you will move to the economic scale. And when you sustain, you start to diversification. And for the founders, that we also see the founder in the survival stage. They hands-on, and they doing by themselves, and you need to focus on your core company, core business. And for the team and the organization, you can see that your team member is a multitask or is agile, the management. They can move very quickly to the new business or new project. So this is the most strategy in the survival stage. And the success and sustain stage, I didn't mention too much about in the book because this is more related to the traditional business administration. So for the book, I just mentioned in the first stage. And as mentioned in the moderator, this is actually the book is from some kind of a content analysis from the event that we call the Fuck Up Nights. The startup or the founders to share their failed experience during these events. Then we use the content analysis to do the about 114 founders to share their concept, and we summarize the 30 tips we most seen in their experience. And I think I don't mention about all this strategy because I already mentioned about the business part, about the number of visitors and the first mover advantage and the platform strategy in the previous part. But if you are interested, you can maybe ask me about the other 27 tips for the books. And for the summary for my speech is for the startup in the digital ecosystem, crowdfunding is a business innovation. It's a very good, particular for a small business and even individual business, and you can help them to reach the fundraising and more easily from the traditional part. But we have to be careful about the bystander effect and use the project legitimacy to enhance your success of a fundraising. And also we understand, I help the people audience to understand the advantage of the platform strategy and avoiding the possibility of bubbles in the platform economy, because if you only focus on the expansion and the first mover without considering another 3 factors for the platform strategy, then your platform business might be replaced very quickly, or in the end you will be bubbles. And finally, I also very quickly mentioned about for the startups, they have a 3 stage for the business. So until you go into the sustain stage, then you still fighting your survival success. So I think this is today's my presentation, and finally I will learn from a lot of failures but a salute to toward the entrepreneurs. Thank you. This is my presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. It's an amazing knowledge.
Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, again, let's move on to the question and answer for Prof. Huang session. Again, please put your questions in the chat or raise your hands if you would like to ask questions related to the topic. Okay. Moment, Professor. Let's find maybe. Is there any chat? Okay. Okay, Professor, let's see in chat. There is a question from Mr. Hamdi.
Yeah.
The question is, to what degree the startup should provide the detail of their project to the potential investors? Maybe that's the point of the question, Professor. Would you like to directly answer it?
Okay. I think this is, thank you, Handy. This is a very good question. Because most of the people using the crowdfunding, they don't trust the product they produced. So that's why we call the importance of the legitimacies. how can show your product is you can deliver to your customer clients. So there's several things you can do to help to build up your legitimacy. For example, as I do a research, there's a meal company. The founders always go to some TV program to share his experience, or you can go to the social media to show your professionals in raising the cows. And then I think this is one possible to help the possible investors to gain the trust from your products. And also you can leverage, for example, you can leverage some already people already have some reputation. For example, when they design their products package, they invite a very famous designers to very famous in Taiwan. Probably most people know these very famous designers for the package. So people will think, okay, your product package is designed by a famous designer. So I think this is the something you can help the startup to build up your trust. Again, I realized because some people say, well, why these famous people would like to help me to build up the trust. I think I saw a lot of successful stuff, so that's why they going to a lot of conference. They join to a lot of activities to show to know these people and to provide some connection with these people. I think this is the only way. If you are a startup, you need to build up your connection with some people, have some reputation, and to help you to build up your own company or your own business. I think this is the question. Yeah, for
Thank
the
you,
first.
Professor.
Yeah.
Okay, the next, let me read the question from Mr. Artin Bayu Mukti.
Yeah.
Is there any political issues from China-Taiwan relationship that affected the development of digital ecosystem in Taiwan?
Yeah, I think this is a very good question. And I think in addition to the political issues, the Taiwanese business, I think, relied on the mainland China is quite high. I actually so I wouldn't say it's not affected, but for the digital ecosystem, I think the digital ecosystem is quite different in Taiwan and China. For example, in Taiwan, we use the credit card payment is quite often, but in China they use the online payment. They rarely to use the credit card. So I just raised the example. So even though they have some similarity between China and Taiwan, but actually for the consumer behaviors and the tools and the digital tools, I think it's different from Taiwan and China. So for the digital ecosystem, I didn't see quite a lot of change or affected by the China and in the COVID-19 area. But we have some political issues, so I think this is not particular for the digital ecosystem. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Professor. And then from Mr. Christophorus, how the COVID-19 impact the digital ecosystem in Taiwan, especially for the entrepreneurs? That's the question, Professor.
Yeah, I think it's quite similar to the rest of the world. The more and more people using the internet and the digital service. For example, as I mentioned, for the food delivery and before the COVID-19, it's very, very rare for the Taiwanese people to order restaurant meals and deliver to home. But during the COVID-19, the number increased. And now, even after the COVID-19, because people get used to it, the advantage for the food delivery. So for some sector, it changed. Another example, for example, like the education as well. When during the COVID-19, before the COVID-19, people, professor or the lecturer reluctant to use the digital tools to teach in the school. But because of the COVID-19, we are forced to use the tools to online teaching. So and we can share some advantage. For example, like today, we can share our knowledge to the rest of the world is very easily. So I think for my course or for my lectures, I also can invite a businessman from the US to join my course to share their experience. In the previous time, we have to invite him and to fly to Taiwan and to share only 1 hour or 2 hours. Then that's it. But now we can invite these people, valuable businessmen, to share their success of their business, and very easily. So I think that yes, the answer is yes. COVID-19 actually affects a lot of different sectors in the world and in Taiwan as well.
Thank you, Professor. The participants so very enthusiastic. So there are many questions for you.
Okay.
It is not. Let me read the next. Why most of a startup business have many loss or debt? For example, like Grab still have debts to be paid. Please, Professor.
Yeah.
Your opinion.
I think this is just I mentioned during the speech, because the time is limited, so I didn't explain very detailed. As I mentioned, remember, because the most of the business they want to, because the logic for this startup, they think if they can create a lot of people use their platform or they use their business, then they can show these figures to the venture capital, and the venture capital will refund your business. So even your business is lost, is not profitable, they think they will tell the VC, say, okay, if you continue to invest us, then one day we will turn around from the loss to the profit. But you can see if the smart VC, they will ask how, because we haven't seen you already make a profit at this moment. So so I always call this is a financial game. It's just if you just ask some money from the smart VC, you couldn't convince them. You just jump into the other one. You will finally find a fool one. They didn't realize your business model, and they will give you the money. So this kind of company, yes, although they still got lost, they have a lot of debt, but they still can attract a lot of VC to invest, because they convinced that we have a lot of members in our platform. So don't worry about this. Just invest us, and then one day you can see how we will success like Ubers or like Airbnb, because they always say you can see the success factors, the business model in the US, but they didn't really compare why it's different about your business and the others. So for this question is very interesting, but I have to say if you go back to where I say is the four success factor for the platform strategy, then you can review by yourself. I think 90% of the business you can review by yourself, and it's very easy to eliminate. And only the very few of them, unless they have a really rich and have another rich resource to support them. Otherwise, it's just about time when whether they use all their money, and they will go to the VC ask the money again. Okay.
Okay, Professor. There are still 2 questions. No problem, Professor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next from Mrs. Agnes. How do the startup business owners maintain and sustain their businesses after COVID-19 pandemic? That's the question, Professor.
Okay. I think this is related to today's the topics about the ecosystem, so digital ecosystem. So after COVID-19, you can see I will encourage I always encourage my students in Taiwan to think about this. Is there any business process change before and after the COVID-19? If there is, some new startup can see about the change, because maybe some people they hasn't found the change. So if you found the change, you can move into first and to build up a sustained business. Then is a good one properly. So we have to check. And for the existing business, you have to think about traditionally how do you do the business, the process of your business, and is there any effect by the COVID-19? For example, as we say, the food delivery, because the people are now reluctant to go to the restaurant, so they have a food delivery. But we also found some shop on the streets. They also suffered from the COVID-19 because the people rarely go to the streets, so they couldn't sell their products. So it's not only for the restaurant, but also for the shop. So, for example, some chain store shops, the owner tell me that after the COVID-19, the people on the streets, the amount of people go on the street is reduced. So they have to think about how to change their business model instead of stick in the traditional way. So I think that not only for startup, but also for all the business to have to review their business, the process, whether some process already affected by the digital ecosystem. Then you can cope with this more easily. Okay.
Okay, Professor, the last question. How does the university impact to the startup ecosystem? Is it possible to create a mini startup ecosystem in a university environment? That's a question,
Yeah.
Professor.
Okay, thank you. I think the university always play a very important role for the startup, not only for the digital ecosystem, but the startup ecosystem. So I think the more and more university encourage their startup. I think in Taiwan, I don't know whether it's the same in Indonesia, but in Taiwan, almost every university they have some kind of a hub to help the new startup. So and encourage students. Even they create some classes for the students to learn how to start up. I think this is a university can do this, but I just mentioned to again, I have to remind people think about this again, because the students, because they don't have experience. So normally their business idea or concept normally is imitated or by they all normally imitated by the successful one from the US or from the rest of the world. And they don't consider the difference between your country or Taiwan and the US or the rest of the world. So it doesn't mean that the success for the Uber, it was success in Taiwan as well. So this I think we have to, if the university encourage the startup ecosystems, you have to let your student to think about this, the difference. It's not always copy or imitate the success model from the world. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Professor. The question have finished. Okay. It is an amazing knowledge for us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to our amazing speaker.
Thank you.
Professor, before we move on to the last part of this discussion, please, Professor, receive our award in the form of certificate. That's
Okay, thank you.
Professor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Finally, we have come to the end of the webinar. Before closing the webinar, I want to draw conclusions from what the speakers have said. First, learn from the experience of UITM, that is, for digital transformation to exist, there must be support from the leadership. Leaders who believe that digital transformation is important in their universities will be the ones to provide successful culture shifts. The second, the proliferation of employing digital marketing likely gives a high contribution to push the economy in clients. It's likely worthy to be supposed as a severe, particularly for SMEs. In other side, it might change common people. But we hope after pandemic, likely Indonesia steps forward, free of digital illiterate. And finally, from Prof. Huang, I can mention startups need to move innovatively and manage sustainably in this digital era. Okay, I would like to thank again the speakers for their informative and interesting presentation, and all the participants for their active and dynamic participation. Finally, please give a round of applause to our amazing speakers and all of you. Thank you, everyone, and see you at the next conference. I give back the control to the Master of Ceremony.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Mr. Craig, as our fabulous moderator, and Professor Noor, Professor Eric, and Professor Huang. Well, what wonderful speeches what we all have listened to. And for everyone, especially call for paper presenter, after this we have a break, and you should come back at 1 p.m. to the main room and present your presentation at the breakout room.
Okay, for information, after the break, participants can join again for the call for paper agenda with the same link. In breakout rooms, you all will be moderated by our liaison official. See you later and good afternoon.